Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here. Welcome to the Tuesday point and shoot update for October the 9th, 2018. I'm giving you sort of a across the room view of the tank. This is what I see when I walk in the door, and I just love it. Over here, this is all going to change because I have a new build coming up, and this is where it's going to go. Not going to say anything more about that, except I do have plans for a couple of the corals that are in the main tank now. I don't like the clutter on my sand bed, so I'm going to deal with that by moving the stuff to a different tank. So this is a good news update mainly. My frag rack is almost empty except for 2 Cyphastria, and I have plans for those. And the Fox Flame Acro, haven't decided where it should go yet. These 2 pieces broke off, and they're going to go into the new tank. Overall, things are looking good. My alkalinity has stabilized at around 8. Calcium is 440, magnesium 1410. Nitrates are up to around 10, phosphates at 0.16. So I've slightly increased my dose of no-pox to try and get the nitrates back down to under 5. That's where I prefer to have them. The gold torch is out. It was sulking for probably 2 weeks. The bird's nest, I'm going to have to trim that back because the lower half of it is completely died off now. However, everything else is looking good. The hammer is fully open now and just needs to get back the beautiful purple that it had on its tentacle tips. I put the green torch from the frag rack on its own rock so I can move it wherever I need to. And here's this week's excavation activity by the pistol shrimp and the aurora gobies. Everything's moved around again. My fox coral is something I've been meaning to show you for a couple of weeks now. There it is right there. And that thing gets huge during the day. I wish I could get a better shot of it, but it's the angle that I have to shoot at. It makes it really hard. And also the Yuma did drop a baby. So now we just have to hope that the Yuma decides to stay where it is and see what happens with the baby. The plating Montiporas up here, the Reef Tech Starburst, and the orange are doing okay. The orange has a rim of algae, but that disappears every couple of days, I think because of Pamela the Tomini tang. But the polyps are coming out again. There's where I put the Leptastria from the frag rack. And while we're dealing with frag rack stuff, there's the Blastomussa. And there's the gold chalice. I put it on its own rock so that I can move it anywhere I want. And then the other chalice is here. I think that's a really good spot for it. And while we're down at this end, the mushrooms are still growing. Kryptonite candy cane is really growing. The toadstool looks good, though the polyps aren't fully extended yet. The Leptocerus is green again. It was brown for quite a while. I was getting a little worried about it. Sunny days. The other candy cane really splitting into a lot of heads. It's amazing. And this other chalice definitely encrusting now. Goniastria doing well. And the Pectinia is getting the yellow back. Without going specimen by specimen, which would take a half an hour, let me just say that things are really improving. The bubble coral is just amazing. One other chore that I did was to put these 2 octospawn colonies onto a bigger rock so that they could be up off the sand, because they're constantly being pushed into the sand by snails. And they're finally starting to recover from me handling them and also the poor conditions in here because of the alkalinity problems. George is having a good day. He's pretty much fluffed up on the one side. And Stanley, my clam, I think it's growing. So that's really good. And here we have Buster, the red brain. There's where I put the red Cyphastria from the frag rack. So it'd be nice if it spread out on this rock. And there's the lonely branch left on the red planet. I'm too stubborn to take it off, so we'll see what happens. Colors coming back there. I think this one is done. Oh, the fish just pooped. Yep, there's the Divine Mystic Sunset. Up here, a couple of these acros are regaining color, or they're holding their own because they haven't lost tissue. This one is the Star. It started coming back first, and now it's pretty much back to its original color. The Digitata up here, I did a top-down survey of everything and looked at it all really, really closely. And I wish I could get a clearer picture of it, but that white ring has pores in it that look as if the polyps could come out at any time, so I'm going to leave it. This thing broke off, and the piece that broke off is right there. So I'm going to try and save that for the other tank. That piece of Poecilopora also broke off. So coming back to the acros, a couple of them are looking like they might come back. So for now I'm going to leave them because I have no plans to get more Acropora. So I might as well see if they come back. These are pretty much done. The Setosa, the Blue Tenuous, the Strawberry Shortcake, the Tort, and whatever that one was on the left. Except that the one on the left, the base of it is still got color. It's the main branches that have pretty much lost all their tissue. The Plating Monties at the back, collecting gray stuff. Gotta blast that off. Season's Greetings has really surprised me by how quickly the color came back. This piece down here as well. I think it has potential to really recover nicely. So I just want to finish the update by saying a really good reason for doing this every week is that it forces me to do regular maintenance on my sand bed and my glass. Before I want to start shooting this, I clean the glass really, really well. Then I go with my long feeding tool, this thing right here, and I fluff the sand up everywhere I can reach. And the water is positively white with all this stuff floating around when I do that. But that's actually good for the corals. It kind of encourages them to put out all their polyps. Buster especially. Buster really does well after that. And I like to clean the bottom edge of the glass where the sand bed meets because of that horrible brown film that accumulates there. And I don't go down the left side because I don't want to collapse the burrows of the pistol shrimp and the aurora gobies. And I tend to avoid the right side because I really don't want the clownfish to get all upset because they spend most of their day digging a hole in the back right corner. And if I come along and fill the hole in, I just feel like it's kind of mean. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. And let me know if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to cover that I haven't. In the queue now for editing is the Sump reboot video. So hopefully I'll have that out within the next week or so, and you can take a look at what I'm hiding behind these doors here.